Good evening. It is 9 minutes, well, now 8 minutes before midnight. And I, okay, am live because I'm still up. But what I was gonna say was before I say anything, hold on, y'all. Let me go look at something. You know what? I can't even do it from my phone. Hey, Senna, you still up, sis? Why you ain't in the bed? Okay, look, let me stop minding your business. But before I go to bed, y'all, because I am about to go to bed, and I just like finished the tail end of Miss Tawana's live because I had to leave. But before I go to bed, y'all, I just want to say that I'm glad I went live today, and I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because I really was sitting back just watching, and at first I had my mind made up that I wasn't gonna say anything. And I even received really good advice, like, that I might as well had not said anything at all. And what I have come to realize is, y'all, is that, once a person's mind is made up about you as a person, there's no changing it. And um, the truth can be right in front of people's faces, and they still won't accept it because, believing what they believe about you already is what's true. You know, seeing at time is believing, okay, and at other times, you know, what you see is actually not what you see, or what you think isn't. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're not supposed to lean to our own understanding. And I'm far I'm far from perfect. I do a whole lot of, leaning to my own understanding at times. But one thing I do know about myself, and I give myself a lot of credit for, is really being able to listen to understand. And that's not me tooting my own horn or, thinking I'm better than everybody. It's really like a gift because a lot of times, you know, like tonight on Cinda's panel, when, it's like, you know, Vaughn remembers, and it's like because I really do listen. You know what I'm saying? And um all I know is, y'all, like I heard Miss Tawana live, y'all. I heard her live, and I'm not gonna lie, it was very entertaining. Um, but there was a lot of truth in there. And it may not have been pretty, you know what I'm saying? And I know, a lot of people are kind of like, oh, I wish this didn't happen. And you know what? I felt the same way at first. And I know people are probably thinking, you know, um, well, what good came out of it? Well, for me, like I said earlier tonight, if y'all hear it snoring, it's my husband, y'all. Jim, he be tired. That's why I said I'm not gonna be in here long because I'm going to bed too. But um I'm a easy person to talk to. I will say when I'm in my feelings or I'm upset about something, I'm not the easiest to talk to. However, you know, when I sit back and I'm able to think about something, or even in the moment, I've had that experience where it's like I'm all up in arms and somebody's like, Keyvon, calm down. I'm able to because it's like all I really want, if I'm especially if I'm upset, all I really want is to like, I just don't like, I really don't like trying to have a conversation with somebody who cannot hear me at all because they're upset. I tend to avoid people like that, like in real life. It's like, I don't really like. So I can honestly say, like, here on YouTube, I've given people more chances than what I would say they really deserve. And, I try to be patient with people, but what I've learned is that, you know, sometimes y'all, we be out here trying to give our pearls to swine. And I'm not saying that is like, but that's really just how I feel, y'all. Like, and I said in my live earlier, like, a lot of this messy stuff is really a game for people. And in some aspects it's a tug of war of, like, who's gonna, run the show, and who's more respected. And I just personally feel like with being a content creator, we're all each other's competition in some type of way when it comes to like revenue and views and, where the support is. But when it comes to like a real friendship, or what, like, friends, like, that's not something that you play with. You don't risk your friendships for entertainment. You don't, first of all, in friend groups, you know what I'm saying, you don't you're supposed to trust the people around you, and you're supposed to think, lovingly of your friends. But I will say is, someone said to me today, like, the same way you meet people is usually the way that you leave them. And I believe that. And I can honestly say, y'all, like I said, no victim here, y'all, no victim here at all, because in the last couple of months, with me just being by myself, and I say that very loosely because that's the furthest thing from the truth, but in being by myself, as far as not being in the mess, not being like grouped up in the mess, not, like I said, I'm not feeding, somebody negativity to go live and we gonna cuss people out. Ain't nobody feeding me that. There's nobody in my ear, oh, well, I think this and I think that. There isn't any of that, and I have a lot of peace behind it, genuinely. And like I said, I feel like I can think clearly and not be so quick to anger, you know, um, even thinking the absolute worst about people just based on little bullshit. And do I enjoy the entertainment, aspect of it, as far as like people who want to play the game and people who like to keep up the confusion? Yes, I do. Do I like actually being a part of it? No, I don't. Do I like people that I call my friends or my sister, or I rock with you, being thrown up in it, and then I got to come out here and defend, and, oh, this didn't happen? I don't like that part. I don't miss that part because I'm a genuine person, and I have genuine relationships in my real life, and I'm capable of being genuine with people that I've never even met behind the scenes without it being negative, or messy or gossipy or weird, you know. So it's like, um, no harm, no foul to me, in my opinion. I know this may rub some people the wrong way, but honestly, I don't care. And I'm gonna tell y'all why I don't care. I don't care because I have been so far removed from it to where it affects me emotionally. Now, have I been irritated knowing this truth and these revelations that's been admitted by said person? I'm not gonna say their name anymore because it's not that I wish any harm on him or anything like that, y'all. But it's like I'm not attached. At first, I felt bad because once again, I'm a genuine person and I don't believe in friendships falling apart over bullshit. And I'm definitely a peacemaker. Like, y'all patch that up. But when you see a person isn't genuine like you, and when you see that people rather, lie and manipulate to get their way, it just opens your eyes up, and it just, there's just a separation. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can't have sympathy for a person that knows what they're doing is wrong, but they're doing it because they want what they want. I can't sympathize with that. Hey, Miss Coleman. Hey, Miss Coleman. But I have sympathy for people that actually deserve it. And I don't give my energy to bullshit like that anymore. To get all in my feelings over petty stuff that is dumb. So it's like, if people want to feel some, oh, she laughing. Yes, yes, I crack up because this is what certain people want. And I'm not mad at them. It's just not a place for me personally. I don't care about what nobody say about me, my looks. Oh, remember this? Because I've heard it all. I've heard it all. I've felt it all. It's like it's nothing new. And even if there was some new, it's like, so what? These are people who have less than me, aren't even being their real authentic selves. Feel impossible to be their real authentic selves because they put on this mask for so long, they don't even know who they are. They've been in a certain mindset for so long, they don't even have peace. So why would I feel any type of way about people that literally don't even think much enough of themselves to have some type of peace in their life? And to not want to tear people down and not want to lie on people and not want to run game behind the scenes and in front of the scenes to get people to go at each other. Nobody of that character, nobody of that being could ever disturb my peace again, to the point where I'm thinking less of myself, to the point where I'm questioning whether or not I'm a good person. Because people like that could never really be any type of good to anybody else, especially me. Why would they be good to me? And they don't know how to be good to themselves. So, on that note, what you say, Miss Coleman? She said, "What I do, I don't have no expectation of motherfuckers on this bitch. For real, I won't get hurt." She said, "I hope don't nobody expect nothing from me either." I feel you, Miss Coleman. Hey, Daniel. Rice says, "Yeah." So, and I don't expect nothing from nobody. I will say I'm a very loyal person. Um, don't lie on me. I would hate to tell the truth on you, which that has happened in the past, and I've had to forgive myself for, beating myself up, for defending myself, for being, oh, I would have never. It happened. It happened. But I am a loyal person and I'm a great friend and I have great friends. And great friends have me and I have them. So as far as like, you know, that kind of stuff, I'm not worried about that type of stuff, y'all. I don't lose sleep over that type of stuff. If anything, I've been losing sleep, worrying about my future. And I know we're not supposed to worry about tomorrow. And I know we're supposed to give it all to God. But hey, the walk is easier said than actually done. Okay. The Lord reigns on the just and the unjust. And I am the furthest thing from perfect. I'm trying to get there. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a little scared to get there because it's like, yo, like, do y'all know what a lifestyle of holiness looks like? Like, it's a lot of sacrifice and you got to give up a whole bunch of stuff. And I just keep it real, with myself and the people around me. Like, I don't know if I really, if I'm really ready for all that. I still feel like I'm young and, but time waits for no man. And I don't believe that God, you know, um, really cares about youth all that much. So, I got my own struggles that I'm going through over here. I have four amazing children who are dependent on me. And, you know, um, it's stuff that we go through as a family, that be having me, in my feelings and in my head. So, I don't miss the chaos of having, the mess in my YouTube life. I don't miss that. I will say I do miss being real petty and trolly and, laughing and making community wall posts about the funny stuff. I miss that. I miss going live, you know, clowning people for sounding stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really miss going live and just being dumb, with the dumb people, that are mad at me and I'm mad at them. Now, because I enjoyed that. Like, if it's funny, I'm going to laugh. If I think you funny for being mad at me, I'm going to laugh, but the messiness, I don't miss that, you know, and I hope it don't miss me because to me, that's a miserable, state of mind to be in where you always feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah. So, Sonny, you laughing at me? But I mean, I'm serious. It's like I ain't gonna lie. When I was on your panel and I said, I've been trying to keep my composure because I really wanted to go live again for the second time and troll and just be like, y'all hear this stupid shit. But I'm like, nah, because that's just gonna add to it. It's just gonna add to it. And um I don't belong over there in that no more. Like not the way that I was. And I have to really accept that. I know you laughing with me, sis. But yeah, I have to really accept that. So and she say my nice ass like everybody and so yeah, me too. I do. I do like people. I'm not easily offended about petty stuff. I be offended about other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with nobody. I recently learned that in real life, like that really bothers me. But this stuff on here, only because your crash out is somebody else's entertainment. I know I didn't laugh when I didn't see people go live and just flip out. It'd be like, why are you so mad? Who said something to you? But yeah, so that's all I got, y'all. I haven't done a late night live and I don't know how long. And I'm not gonna start back up, y'all, because when I tell y'all, my summer is about to be crazy. Like my whole life is about to change. And is fearful of, what's ahead. I'm also excited. So, I just gotta put on my big girl draws and go for it. So I'm gonna say this too though. Anything worth having does not come easy. So if I don't leave y'all, she said a long time. She said I'm glad you did because it's Boots called out. Miss Coleman, you funny. But yeah. Wait, is that the real Mrs. Coleman? Hold on, y'all, because I just thought about something. Mrs. Coleman. Okay, I had to go check because it be troll pages out here. But yeah, y'all, that's all I got, y'all. And I'm gonna go ahead and hang it up. I hope y'all had a good laugh. I hope y'all heard me, loud and clear. And all of it's really water under the bridge for me. I think I just had to, be like, I seen everything, and because I'm gonna be honest, I don't like being lied on. I don't like being lied on. I've learned that that is a trigger for me. You want to get on my bad side, lie on me. I can forgive you, for it, but I'm gonna side eye you, especially if you have the opportunity to tell the truth and you don't take it, and then you wanna, you know, make it look like, oh, it's like I don't play them type of games. I don't play them types of games with my friends or even people that I'm cool with. It's like I said it last year. If I speak, I'm gonna tell the truth, and don't lie on me and don't misconstrue. It's one thing for it to be a complete misunderstanding, miscommunication, but some things can be unintentional, intentional. And all I ask for is accountability. If you're my friend or a relative, a loved one, that's the only thing I ask for because I'm usually the first to apologize, the first to be like, oh, explain and try to like, so when I'm not treated the same, I'm going to say, as a self love journey, I don't allow those types of things to just slide because we teach people how to treat us. And, I don't always, stand up for myself. I'll just kind of let it slide and, I'll make 1,000 excuses for you. And somebody could be telling me, like, that's not a friend or, such and such shouldn't be treating you like that. And I will bypass it. So it's like in this season, I'm standing up for myself a lot. And I know it's hella annoying, for my loved ones who's like, you don't have to over explain. You don't have to, you know, do all that. I heard you the first time, and it's like, okay, my bad. This is my trauma speaking. I have to apologize because a lot of times, it'd be a trauma speaking, and it's not necessarily you speaking. But what I will say is like mind games and all that kind of stuff. I just have really zero tolerance for it, whether it's me or somebody I really care about. And um, I'm too much of a genuine person. Like I said, I have my flaws. I'm not perfect, but if I'm wrong, I will apologize. And it's not oh, I'm just gonna apologize so you would shut up. It's like, no, I'm apologizing because I realize what I've done is wrong. And I didn't mean to hurt you. And if I did mean to hurt you, I shouldn't have hurt you. I'm wrong for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm too well versed in accountability not to take it. Okay. And I just have a low tolerance for being mistreated. And it's only because, like I said, we teach people how to treat us. And it's a new thing for me, you know, at 32, to really take that seriously and don't let nobody play with you. So, people can, take it as one way, but it's like I don't care about how you feel. If your behavior is making me uncomfortable to the point where I'm going to get out of character. I'm gonna be in my head. I'm gonna feel like I have to walk on eggshells around you. I can't even have a conversation with you. We can't even converse as two, intelligent adults, emotional intelligent at that. Like as boisterous as I am, y'all, I do not like to argue. And I've always I have always fought, whether it was verbally or physically, but I just don't like to do it no more. I don't. I see how it's a trap of the enemy. I see how it's a mental trap, an emotional trap, an energy trap. I see it, and it's like I don't like that shit. I don't like it at all. Okay, it's a spiritual trap. How you walking around angry, you know, always offended. You can't listen to the other person that's speaking to you. Like I said, your nervous system just all fucked up. And I'm over here regulating my nervous system little by little every day. I'm finding new ways to, keep my peace, keep my mental, and not be a crash out dummy, not be a pop off dummy, not be a, listening to respond dummy and not understand dummy. It's like I ain't no, that's not who I am at all. And that's not who I'm going to be. I'm not going to raise my children to be like that. I don't have friends like that. I won't allow friends like that, company, associates. You know, if you weird, you got to get away from me, and I don't want to be around you. And if you want to walk away from me, hallelujah, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad you've left me. You've given me a headache-free lifestyle. So I'm good. I like I said, I was a little irritated, but I'm not irritated anymore, y'all, because like I said, I recognize what the trigger is. I don't like to not be heard, especially when I'm speaking in truth or in love or in hey, I'm trying to tell you something so that we can get, an understand. I don't like that. So I stay away from all of that. And that's all I got, y'all. So I don't know when I'm going live again. It probably won't be no time soon. Um, I don't know if I'm supposed to make this announcement or not, but I'm gonna let that person do it. But yeah, I was supposed to do something, but it's been rescheduled. But on here, and that's okay. But it's like y'all, life is about learning from your mistakes, not repeating them. And how I look at it is that the whole situation is done and over with. It's been y'all. The funny thing about it is it's really been done and over with as far as like me being emotionally attached. That part's over with. I just had to be like, hey buddy, I see what you've been doing out here. But y'all won't be hearing from me. Okay. Do you ever drop the link? I used to drop my link a lot. I don't now, more so now because I don't think anybody really wants to hit the link. I think I'm gonna say this. The feedback that I get is, Vaughn, I like listening to you just talk. I've gotten that feedback in front of the scenes, behind the scenes. Um, but I used to drop my link, and people would come up and talk to me. But tonight's not a link dropping episode because I'm really not supposed to be here all night either. Senna, you said absolutely. Right on, interesting. Yes, I understand. Good for you, sis. But yeah, no, tonight's not a drop for me. Y'all finna go because Jill is really snoring. But anyway, y'all, good night. Um, I love y'all. Those of you who joined in the live, hit the like button on your way in and out. And tomorrow is Friday, ain't it? Yes. Well, yeah. So today, because it's midnight now, so today is Friday. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know if I'm gonna be anywhere on YouTube tomorrow because I'm gonna be kind of busy. I will tell y'all this though. Um, I want to tell y'all something so bad, but it's really personal. It's really, really, it's not, it's like me, God, and like some things that I've experienced personal. But I ain't gonna lie. I think that's another reason why I've been keeping from going live is because I don't want to tell everything about what's like going on in my spiritual life, because I've been learning to keep my mouth shut about certain stuff. You know, like I said, I've been doing. Y'all know I do need to do some better listening in other places, though. I reckon something happened today. Um, that I was like, you know what? I think I'm just going to listen more, and the questions that I have, I will just write them down so that I don't interrupt something, y'all. Because when I tell y'all, it's like a lot of inform. I'm just learning about something that I wanted to learn about. Here's the thing: I wanted to learn about it. I wanted, to understand, but it's a little overwhelming. It is, and I think I might be overthinking it just a little bit. You remind me of somebody. Well, Simon, ain't no telling who I remind you of, child. I don't know. But yeah, y'all. So, but maybe one day I'll come live and tell y'all about what I've been learning about. If I'm supposed to do a live about. But all right, y'all. I'm finna go. All right, bye. I will see y'all later. Senna, I love you. I hope you have a nice night at work. And shout out to Miss Coleman for coming in the chat. I appreciate it. Been listening. Have a wonderful night, and I enjoyed listening, Vaughn. Well, thank you. Just my thoughts. I don't know who you are, but thank you, love. And y'all have a nice night. Okay. All right. Bye. I love you too, Cinnabon. Bye.